Recently I heard of a dance workshop in Egypt which offered as a folkloric dance Khaleegi dance. So what exactly is Khaleegi dance? Spoiler alert, it's not Egyptian. Hi, I'm Kashmir, and today I want to look at Khaleegi dance. Khaleegi became popular in the 1970s, and it's not from Egypt. The hint is in the name, Khaleegi. You can also spell it with a J. The J is actually the standard transliteration of the gym, but in Egypt that sounds more like a G, so you often see it spelt with a G. And the first letter is the Raqs, and that's like the sound in the back of a loch. The Scottish word loch is not as deep as the Koch, which is really far back. So Khaleegi, what does it mean? Well, it just means of the Gulf, and in this case the Gulf is the Arabic Gulf. Now the Arabic Gulf is exactly the same as the Persian Gulf, it just depends on what side you're standing on when you're looking out at it. When we say Khaleegi dance, we usually mean the women's dance. Obviously the adjective can also be applied to the men's dance and cuisine, clothing, whatever. But when a ballet dancer talks about Khaleegi dance, she's talking about a dance performed by the women of the Gulf area, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, United Emirates, etc. The link to Egypt happened when there was a lot of oil money floating around in the 1970s, and the men wanted to spend their money. Egypt was a very convenient place to go to have a good time, let your hair down as they say, and one of the things they spent their money on was belly dancers. Now in order to improve their tips, belly dancers started to include Khaleegi themed dances in their routines. And I deliberately say Khaleegi themed because most of them would never have seen the real thing. Khaleegi dance, the women's Khaleegi dance, is not performed in public by the local women. It's performed in closed parties with other women. The public performances are either by foreigners or, in one case I heard of, prepubescent girls to an audience of their family. So this is the real by woman, for women dance. So what are the stereotypes? Well, the first thing that's a must is the Khaleegi thobe. This is a large dress with big sleeves. It's elaborately embroidered. It reaches the ground at the front and drags at the back. A local would wear underneath this some very nice clothing. I've heard sometimes Paris fashions would be underneath a very traditional Khaleegi thobe. A belly dancer will often wear her bedla underneath it and will actually come out and perform her next piece straight out of the thobe. Whatever happens though, please wear something underneath the thobe. You do actually see whatever you are or are not wearing underneath it. Preferably colour coordinated and with a skirt well below the knees. During the dance, the thobe is gracefully manipulated. The next stereotype is the hair. They will often display their long, thick, beautiful hair. And now this will actually include sometimes circles and figure eights with the hair. Health and safety are not very happy with this one. Make sure if you must do head circles or head figure eights, Cassandra was good at the figure eights, that you first of all warm your neck up through the 3 planes. That's forward and back, not going too far back, and probably keeping your mouth open is a good way of actually making sure you don't jam it back too far. And also from side to side, keeping the chin level. And finally, tilting your ear to your shoulder. The other thing that you'll see is the use of the Arabic 1 movement. That's the flat ball movement, or some variation thereof. There was a very good reason why this was called Arabic 1. Now, a couple of myths I want to dispel. The first one is that Khaleegi dance has no hips, it's all foot and hair and skirt. Not true. There are hips, it's just not that obvious underneath the big fabric. But if you've got a keen eye and you see a local dancing, you will see there are definitely hips there. The next is that there is one and one only true Khaleegi dance. Well, that's rubbish. It's a folk dance. It varies from north to south. What you see in Raqs, for example, is very different from what you'll see in Khaleegi. It also varies across time. And these days, both the traditional thobes and the traditional dance are really quite uncommon. They're out of fashion, I'm afraid. Yet another dance form that's slowly dying. So, how would you use this? In New Zealand, we don't have an awful lot of rich Saudi men who want to shower us with tips, but it's still quite a popular dance because it gives something different. It gives a very different aesthetic. It gives a different costume and lots of colour. I also use it for gigs for more conservative groups. Sometimes you can judge it during it, whether or not you stay in the thobe or you actually take it off and wear your bedler. And some dancers also use it for hen's night. It's quite cheap and easy to run up a set of Khaleegi thobes for people to try on. It's also a great dance for a group of beginners. You have amazing colour, you have amazing spectacle, everyone's in their lovely thobes. It's not frightening, people feel fully covered, but they feel beautiful. And with plenty of colour and blocks of movement happening, a few missteps will be missed by most people. All they'll be is going, wow, that was so wonderful. And people come off the stage feeling really great about the whole thing. So I hope I've inspired you to give this a go. And even if it's not Egyptian, it's a lot of fun.